Hello, this is the TradeSite Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday the 30th of July and ending Friday the 4th of August 2017. Hope you're having a good trading week. We are half size now. We went half size about a week and a half ago. Summer doldrums, we typically do this every year. There was a decent move late in the week. We'll look at all the stuff that happened, but bottom line is it was getting light, and it's usually the time of year where we go half size when the big financial players are on vacation. The Forex market slows up. Sometime after August, we'll get back to full size. If we end up with a great month of August anyways, which has happened, we'll just be half size, but it'll be more protective just because things aren't always that great. Here's the dollar index daily chart. No new signals from the seeker, but we are at new lows for the year. On the dollar index for the week, that last push gave us a nice winner to close out the week. Here's the euro dollar, the inverse of the dollar index, so at highs. Pound dollar. Now here's the interesting thing, keeps bumping against that risk line and can't get through. So the 13 sell signal, then we dipped a little bit and then came back up and hit the sell signal or the risk line, can't get through it. So it is a very technical situation here on the pound. If you fail there, eventually when you roll over, it should be a decent one. The Aussie dollar has been up for the last couple weeks and holding near highs. The pound yen has not. Look at the 13 sell signal there, right on time, on target. Euro yen, look at this. Again, the risk line continues to be the resistance point. Can't get a close above it and then take out the high of the prior day, which would negate it. Pound Swiss was up this last week, did not quite get a 13 buy signal, and here's the New Zealand dollar, which was up. All right, let's look at the intra-week action here. So high to low on the euro dollar, 150 pips. But again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, less than 100 pips the whole time. And then finally the pop on the Fed, and then back and then up. And that's it. The pound dollar, about the same. I mean, it's in a very narrow range of 80 pips for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. A pop on the Fed, back on Thursday, up on Friday. Not much to discuss there. We made a little money, but it wasn't very exciting, and the first 3 days were certainly a warning shot, I would say. All right, let's take a look at the big economic data that's coming out the week, or we'll look at all of it, see what we come up with. So building consensus out of New Zealand, preliminary industrial production out of Japan, new home sales out of Australia, manufacturing and non-manufacturing PMI out of China, business confidence out of New Zealand, housing starts out of Japan as we head into Monday, German retail sales, Italian monthly unemployment, money supply and mortgage approvals out of the UK. We got the CPI and core CPI flash estimates out of Europe, Italian preliminary CPI, European unemployment rate at 5 a.m. Eastern Time Monday morning. RMPI and IPPI of Canada, Chicago PMI here in the U.S., pending home sales here in the U.S., loan officer survey to the extent that that's important. Australia's AIG manufacturing index, Japan's final manufacturing PMI, China's Caixin manufacturing PMI, got Japan's 10-year bond auction, Australia's rate announcement from the Bank of Australia at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday. Switzerland goes on a bank holiday. UK nationwide housing price index at 2 a.m. on Tuesday. Commodity prices out of Australia. We got Spanish, Italian, French, German, and the broad European and UK manufacturing PMI numbers all like within the half hour, 45 minutes of each other. European preliminary flash GDP, 10-year bond auction out of the UK, core PCE price index out of the US, personal income and spending out of the US, final manufacturing PMI, ISM manufacturing PMI out of the US, construction spending out of the US, total vehicle sales out of the US. We've got the GDT price index, employment change, unemployment rate, and labor cost index out of New Zealand at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday. A lot of data to this point, nothing major. Monetary base out of Japan, building approvals out of Australia. Going into Wednesday, consumer confidence out of Japan, consumer climate out of Switzerland, Spanish unemployment change, Swiss retail sales, manufacturing PMI out of Switzerland, construction PMI out of the UK, PPI out of Europe, German 10-year bond auction, got the ADP non-farm employment change, crude oil inventories out of the US, AIG services index out of Australia, ANZ commodity prices out of New Zealand, trade balance out of Australia, got Caixin services PMI out of China. Now we're finally into Thursday, where we get the Spanish, Italian, French, German, and broad European final services PMI, and then the UK one, same as the other thing. It's about 45 minutes apart. Retail sales out of Europe, Spanish 10-year bond auction, French 10-year bond auction. We get a rate announcement out of the Bank of England. Challenger job cuts here in the U.S. Thursday morning, along with our weekly unemployment claims, final services PMI, factory orders, the weekly natty gas number. Japan that night, average cash earnings. Australia, monetary policy statement from the announcement that they do earlier in the week. Retail sales out of Australia, German factory orders, Italian retail sales. European retail PMI, and then Friday, here's the big one. Canada and the U.S. Canada's got trade balance and unemployment. U.S. has trade balance and unemployment. That's two of our big three right at the same moment for the month coming out. So we will be half size ahead of that. Well, half size of half size because we're already half size. You don't get heavy ahead of those big numbers. Market's going to wait for them and then spike usually if anything happens. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. We will be around all week. Have a great trading weekend as we enter August.